From Dallas to Los Angeles and a screen near you, here is B Wildcat 2.
Alright everybody, you know what time it is? It's time for week 8 in the Big 14 simulation. So without further ado, let's get it into action now. We see Nebraska 2-3, 0-2 in the Big 14, taking on their big rivals Colorado, who is also 2-3, 1-1 in Big 14 play. But we're going to take a look at the top 25 games around the area. FCS Southeast taking on Cincinnati. Oklahoma and Texas, the Red River rivalry. You never know what's going to happen. Oklahoma 4-0, 2-0 in Big 14 play, number 5 in the country, taking on Texas 4-2, 2-2 in the conference. We'll simulate this one and see what will happen. It will be Texas pulling off the upset and advancing to 5-2, 3-2 in conference with a 34-26 win over the 4-1 now Sooners, who will probably drop down in ranking thanks to their loss, as they were number 5, but now they are 4-1, overall 2-1 in conference play. Wisconsin, Purdue, big matchup in the Big 10/12, whatever you want to call it. Duke and Virginia Tech. Kansas State, number 20 in the country, 3-2, taking on the 1-3 Iowa State Cyclones, a rivalry game there. Kansas State already has a win in Big 14 play. Iowa State does not. We'll see what happens this time around. It will be Kansas State running away with this one, 52-21 over the 1-4 Cyclones. They fall to 0-2 in conference. Kansas State improves to 4-2, 2-1 in Big 14 play now, thanks to their win. LSU, the number 1 team in the country, travels to Tennessee to take on the Volunteers there. Texas Tech, number 21 in the country, 4-1, 1-1 in conference, heads to College Station, Texas to take on the Texas A&M Aggies, who are 2-3, 1-1 in conference play, not doing as well as they had hoped in their first season of Big 14 play. And it will be Texas A&M who will knock off Texas Tech 49-31, improving their record to 3-3, 2-1 in conference play. Texas Tech was number 21. They will probably fall out of the rankings now after falling to 4-2, 1-2 in conference play. Oklahoma State, number 16 in the country, 4-1 overall, 1-1 in conference play, taking on the Kansas Jayhawks, who are 4-2, 2-1 in conference play. Really the surprise team in this conference thus far. We'll see what happens in this one, and it will be Oklahoma State running away with this one, 57-36, as Oklahoma State improves to 5-1, 2-1 in conference play. Kansas falls to 4-3, 2-2 in conference play. Baylor, number 24 in the country, 4-2 overall, 2-0 in conference play. They will be taking on the TCU Horned Frogs in the Holy War. TCU is 0-2 in conference play, 3-2 overall. We'll see how this one turns out. It's anybody's game, and it will be TCU. Oh my goodness, they knocked the crap out of Baylor, 45-6. Improving TCU to 4-2, 1-2 in conference play, their first conference win, and knocking Baylor down to 4-3, 2-1 in conference play. Oregon State, they go to Alabama, the number 2 team in the country, who are 5-0. Stanford and Notre Dame is the game of the week. Stanford at 3-2 and Notre Dame at 6-1. Vanderbilt and Florida in an SEC battle. Fresno State and Boise State in a rivalry game. Boise State number 6 in the country. Ohio State taking on Indiana in a Big 10/12 matchup. Florida State, Boston College over in the ACC. Iowa and Michigan State. Iowa's still undefeated. USC and Wisconsin. USC is number 3 in the country, taking on number 19 and 5-1 Washington. Utah taking on Arizona State. Utah's already bowl eligible. If they win this one, they're definitely going to a bowl game now, but they're looking for an undefeated season. But that's all for the top 25. Now we go to the Big 12 matchups that didn't have any ranked teams, like FCS Southeast taking on Missouri. Missouri looking to become 5-2, and they will get it done 35-14 over FCS Southeast, who falls to 1-32, and a very sad record even for an FCS team. Missouri improves to 5-2, stays 2-1 in conference play thanks to their victory. The other game that hasn't been decided yet, Marshall 1-3, 0-2 in their conference, takes on West Virginia 3-2, 1-2 in the Big 14 play, a rivalry game. And will West Virginia pull out the victory? Yes, 45-24 over Marshall, who falls to 1-4. West Virginia improves to 4-2 on the season thanks to their 45-24 victory over the Herd of Marshall. Good movie, by the way. We Are Marshall. Anyway, so now the big rivalry for the first time since 2008, I believe, the last time Colorado and Nebraska played. I'm probably wrong on that, so don't quote me on that. So both teams come in at 2-3. Which team will get back up to 500? Will Nebraska get their first win in conference play, or will Colorado improve to 2-1 in conference play? It will be Nebraska pulling out the victory 45-17, improving to 3-3, getting their first Big 14 win on the season. Colorado falls to 2-4 and now 1-2 in conference play. Colorado had a 10-7 lead until the second quarter, but the second and third quarter is what killed Colorado, as Nebraska ran away with it 45-17. So, thanks for watching Week 8 simulation, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Come back next time when we take on Week 9 simulation. So come back for that. See you guys.